guys, welcome to today's video. I'm Ophelia. I hope that you are doing well, and in today's video I am going to talk you through and show you how I journal my dream work and my dreams. I have done a similar video to this before about how I journal my tarot readings. I just wanted to say a massive thank you for all the support for that video. I really do appreciate all the views and the likes and the comments. It really does mean a lot. And it also made me feel better that there are so many of you out there that hold your pen slightly strange like me and write with your page sideways. But if you are interested in that video, then I will put the link below. Dream journaling then. If it's not something that you're familiar with or you've never done it before, then literally anybody can do it. I call it Dreamwork because I use it as part of my Wicca and witchcraft practice, but if you're not magically inclined at all, you can still do this and you can still explore and interpret your dreams. I don't want to go too much into the theory of dreams and our sleep, as that's a whole other video. The aim of this video is to share my practice and hopefully give you some ideas to get started with dream journaling as a practice, and just allow for that sort of subconscious exploration. If you're currently sat there thinking, well, I don't really dream, then you are sort of half right. We all dream, it's just that some of us don't actually remember our dreams, but you can train your brain to remember them. Just the act of journaling itself can help. So for those people that don't remember their dreams, it's usually because our brain doesn't think that information is important, and so it won't store it, and so we just tend to forget them once we've woken up. So to start getting your brain used to the idea of remembering your dreams again, then you need to explicitly think to yourself before you're going to sleep, I'm going to journal my dreams, or I want to remember my dreams. Like I said, just before you're going to sleep, so that your brain gets used to the idea of waking up and remembering them. If you do that on a regular basis, then eventually your brain will get the hint. So when should we journal our dreams then? Well, really, it's up to you. But if you do leave it too long after dreaming, waking up, then chances are that you will forget the dreams. You may hear some people say, as soon as you've had the dream and you've woken up, then write it down. But that's not something that really works for me. If I have a dream at, say, 2 o'clock in the morning, I'm not going to sit up in bed and start my brain working by writing down my dream. It would take me ages to get back to sleep, and you don't really want to be disrupting and disturbing your sleep. So usually I just make a mental note about the dream that I've had and then go back to sleep. If I remember the dream in the morning, then that's great. If not, then I'm not too worried. The good thing though is that we usually have our most vivid dreams very early in the morning, just before we wake up. So that does actually make it easier to wake up and to write them down. If you are thinking to yourself, I don't have time to start writing down my dreams in a morning, I need to be getting ready for work, I need to be getting ready for school, etc., then again, that is absolutely fine. What you could do, and what I've done in the past, is to just jot down a few little notes that you can then come back to later, maybe just some keywords from the dream, just to reignite that dream in your memory, and hopefully that will help you to remember it when it comes to actually journaling it maybe later on in the day. Before I show you my journaling practice, I just wanted to give you some of my personal thoughts about journaling in general. So you might think that I do a lot of journaling because I have a dream journal, I have a tarot journal, and one that I've not really spoken about before, which is a journal for shadow work. So thinking about all that journaling, it can be a little bit off-putting, and you don't really want that. Journaling should be a nice and relaxing practice. Personally, I wouldn't recommend journaling every single day, because really, who has something to write about every day? And it can start to become a little bit of a chore. To give you a little bit of insight into my personal journaling routine, I do tarot readings maybe twice a month. I may occasionally do more if something specific comes up. Usually I will do a full moon reading or on a particular Sabbath, or if I just have stuff going on that I want a little bit of advice or guidance about. So just as an average, I will journal probably 2 tarot readings a month. With dream journaling, literally we sleep every day, so you could in theory journal every day, but to me that just sounds exhausting. So I usually aim to do a little bit of dream journaling maybe once a week. It's usually when I have a dream that just really stands out to me, and it's just something that maybe I want to know a little bit more about or to explore. And if I do maybe a magical working before going to bed, or I've got something in the works at the moment, so maybe I've done a charm bag or I've brewed a special tea maybe before bed, then that's specific Dreamwork stuff, so I will always journal the morning after that. With shadow work, again, I will just journal when something comes up, so I can go a few months without journaling anything in relation to shadow work, or 1 month in particular maybe I just journal a few more times than usual. I don't really want to go too much into shadow work. I think again that's just a whole other video, but for me I just do it when I feel called to, or if there's something specific with my shadow self that I want to work on. I hope that helps you with your journaling practices a little bit, so don't feel like it's something that you need to do every single day, because like I said, it can start to become a little bit of an onerous task that you just don't really enjoy doing anymore. Journaling is meant to be self-exploratory, about personal development and helping with our mental health as well, so make sure you just do it when you feel that you need to be doing it. Right, I did mention a few things there, but if you would like anything that I've mentioned clarifying, or if you have any questions about anything that I've said, then please do ask me in the comments, and I'll always try and respond with my thoughts and my personal experiences. On to my Dreamwork journaling then. Apologies for the ridiculous notebook, but I just had so many half-filled notebooks that I wasn't using anymore, so I just decided to stick them together to reuse them. That's why there's tape holding some of the pages together. Also, I really like unicorns. I also apologise again for the dodgy angle, but it's so hard to write properly with a camera stand in the way, but hopefully you get the idea of what I'm doing. First thing with journals then, I always like to start with the date. I put the date of when I was going to sleep, but obviously it does cover 2 dates. It's up to you really. You could put the date as of when you are writing, or you could put both dates, so when you go to sleep and the next day, it's whichever you prefer. Then I like to include some key details about my routine. If you've seen my tarot journaling video, then you will recognise a few of these things. First, I note what time I went to bed. I record this because it can affect your dreams. Our dreams occur during REM sleep, which is rapid eye movement sleep, rather than deep sleep. So the stages can change if you deviate from your normal routine. So it's interesting to record and look back on, and you might start to notice a pattern. Next, I add the location. This may seem strange because you might think, well, I'm in bed, but I add this for things like if you stay at someone's house or you're on holiday somewhere, then this can cause you to have different or strange dreams. Next, I include the weather. Again, something else that might sound strange, but actually it can affect your dreams. At certain stages of our dreams, outside noises can become part of them. So if the weather is calm, then this could be something that's mirrored in your dreaming. Or if there's a thunderstorm, your dream may be more tense or chaotic. I like to record it to see if there is any correlation between the weather and my own dreams. Similarly, with the moon phases, I include this because I want to explore if there is any link between my dreams and the different moon phases. I particularly like to journal during the full moon to see what is going on in my subconscious. I also include my health, so just a few quick details about how I'm feeling physically, mentally and emotionally, because all these things can affect our dreams, and usually our subconscious wants to tell us something that might link to those things. For example, if you're feeling really drained and lack energy, then your dreams may indicate why that is. Next, I include my nightly routine, so what I was doing just before I went to bed. This is more for a look into my sleep rather than dreams. So I might sleep differently if I was reading before bed rather than if I was watching a movie or looking on my phone. Lastly, I include any spells or rituals I'm doing or that I've done. This is specific to my Wicca and witchcraft practice. Just leave this out if it's not something that you want to explore. For those of you that are interested, sometimes I might be struggling to sleep, so I'll make a charm bag to help me sleep and then I'll record that. Currently, I'm exploring prophetic dreaming, so using dreams as a form of divination. I will record the spell I have used and then journal the outcome. Another example would be lucid dreaming. This is when you are aware that you are dreaming and you can control what is happening in the dream. I may do a spell to encourage lucid dreaming, and again, we'll journal the outcome. I also find it useful to note any other spells or rituals that I have going on, even if they're not specifically dream work related, just because you may have a subconscious thought or message related to it. Okay, so that was just a few quick details I like to record. Next, I'm going to move on to the dream itself. I call this the dream description, and that's basically what I do. I describe the dream as best I can. Sometimes dreams can be long and confusing, so I tend to focus on the parts that stood out to me, the parts where your subconscious feels like it's highlighting something. I also like to consider how I felt during the dream, as this can be rather telling. For example, if I felt happy or sad, scared or worried. Sometimes what is happening in the dream doesn't correlate with how you feel when you wake up. It can be strange, but it's interesting to note down so that you can consider why. I actually wrote about 2 similar dreams I had during the night. One included a stoat and the other was about my rabbit Gus. It's actually been 2 weeks since my other rabbit Herbie passed away, and my dreams have been full of him, which is understandable. So it's interesting that my dream was about my other rabbit. I'm also really intrigued by the stoat. I love a dream with some animal symbolism. Next, I include the dream type. This is not something that you need to include. It's not essential for exploring your dreams. I have been researching dream types, so wanted to see if I could start to decipher my own types of dreams. It turns out I was actually way off with this one. Then I consider my initial thoughts about the dream, so just a few ideas about what I think the dream could mean in relation to what's going on in my life at the moment. Some things can be obvious, but others may require more thinking about. You could consider if the dream is a metaphor for how you're feeling about something. Remember, this is your subconscious, so it could even be something that you're not aware of at the moment. As it turns out, my initial thoughts were far too literal. Next is research and interpretation. So I do a little bit of research into what my dream could mean. I've got a few books I use for this, the main one being The Dream Dictionary from A to Z by Theresa Cheung. This can be tricky to start with because you might not be sure what to search for. For this particular dream, I looked up a range of things, animals in general, ferrets and ermine, which are similar to stoats. I also wanted to look at rabbits. Then I also looked at the significance of pets in dreams, and again the ferret or stoat, and rabbits in the context of pets. It gave me a lot of things to consider. Our dreams do relate to things that are personal to us, yet dream interpretations focus on more general ideas, so do try to think about what the overall theme of the dream was, or was there a particular image or symbol that stood out to you? This is always a good place to start. With practice, you will start to be able to pick out what are the most important aspects of your dreams, and you may even start to understand what your own subconscious wants to tell you. Then I just like to journal what I've found out about the dream, intertwined with my personal thoughts as I go along. Remember to always link back to what's going on in your waking life. Something that I will also include is the spell outcome. This wasn't necessary in this case, but that section just usually explores the effects of the spell and ritual that I have done and how successful it was. Lastly, I leave a little section for later reflections. This is something I come back to at a later date, maybe when I've had more time to consider the dream, or I reflect on it before I plan to record or journal a new dream. Something may also happen in your waking life that links directly to the dream that you had, and you may want to add some further notes later. Okay, well that's everything that I include in my dream journal. I hope that you found this video useful and it gave you some inspiration for your own dream journaling. If you do have any questions about anything that I've talked about in the video, or maybe you want to share something that you use in your dream journaling, then please do leave a note in the comments, as it may help someone else, and there's bound to be something that I've not even considered. Okay, thanks for watching guys, and I will see you in the next video.